Hello and welcome to another episode on the Golf. Finally back. For those new to the videos, I'm basically restoring a Mk1 Golf in my garage at home. For those not new, thanks for coming back and sticking with the series. There's been a little delay since the last video. It's just been very hard to get in the garage because summer's here and I've been a bit lazy with the jobs that I should be doing. But we're getting back on with it. In this video, I'm gonna cover a bit about a DIY sandblast cabinet that I've set up, see if it's any good, or see if I should stop being tight and actually pay someone else to do it. And then we crack on with the front panel and start repairing some of the rust that was around the lower engine mount. So yeah, let's get on with it. All right, so look at that. That is a sight to behold. This is what you see here, a 35-ish pound setup for a DIY sandblasting cabinet. So we've got a cold frame off Temu, we've got a little sandblasting gun off Temu, we've got some rubber gloves that are super thick off of eBay, and we've got some filters, I think they're motorcycle air filters or something, I don't know, just basically an air filter that I've cut in half for the car, and there's one on the other side. And then I've just got some really thin perspex for the screen here. And why are we doing this? Well, there is this front panel here that has all of these like nooks and crannies that would be a bit of, a bit of a pain to get to. And I'm gonna see if I can blast this myself in this tiny little cupboard. So yeah, let's see if it works. Okay, so the sandblasting was taking a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. So what I've resorted to doing is using the strip disc on the grinder as you've seen, the knotted wheel on the drill, just to basically get all of the areas that I can get to with them off. To keep morale high and not see this as like a huge job to like strip all of this down manually, I am just going to repair as I go. It's just going to break the job up and I'm going to get less stressed out about just sitting here grinding for hours. What I'll do then is once I've got as much as I can off with the easier tools, then I'll go back to the sandblasting potentially to get into these more fiddly areas so that we then have a bare metal finish that can then be epoxied. But first of all, let's focus on this bit here. Right, so this is what we've uncovered. As you can see, two pretty large holes. This is where the engine mount attaches to. And what we have here is like a double skin situation. So we've got this outer skin here, which you can kind of see there. And then we've got an inner skin here, which is holding these kind of captive threads that the engine mount then bolts into. It was Ant and Ollie, I think, reached out to me on Instagram because I put a post up basically saying I was going to cut kind of around here, but both of them messaged to basically say cut a wider area just to give more access to repair this, and I can then weld without worrying about getting too close to these threaded areas. So yeah, if I need to cut a bit out anyway, there's no harm with going a little bit bigger. It's all original metal that's going back in anyway, and then once this is off, hopefully I can then repair these holes whilst it's off potentially. And then yeah, I'll get more access to that. So that's what I'm going to work on next. this is what's lurking inside. So there's obviously this sort of inner reinforcement so that it can hold the threads, and a nice bit of rust here. I drilled through one spot weld there. Actually, what I should have done was just a little bit off. You can see where it's just pinching that bit. So yeah, just a bit of misalignment there, but the other one's not too bad. This piece is going to be much easier to repair now that it's off. Yeah, not too fussed about that. So I think my plan really is to get as much of this crap off as possible, take it back to bare metal, see how thick this is. It feels quite thick, but I do have some thicker gauge stuff. And yeah, probably think about what needs to be cut out of this to be replaced. And then what I can do is get all of this area back to bare metal and probably epoxy it, just to like re-protect it, because really none of it's welded apart from these tiny little spot welds and along the bottom here as well. So yeah, moving on to that next, but I think I'm pretty happy with how that came off. Thanks to the guys that recommended going a little bit larger. I think it's good to expose all of this area, and yeah, we can go from there. Right, so I'm going to leave that episode there. DIY cabinet for sandblasting, probably wouldn't bother, to be honest. Didn't cost much, but was super messy and way too much space getting taken up in what is quite a small garage. Yeah, I would probably, for bigger things, just pay someone to do it, and then the smaller parts, just get a actual purpose-built cabinet. Yeah, I just found that material was running out too quickly. If you had a cabinet or a space outside, I've seen people doing like little gazebos in a garden, fine, but we haven't really got the space for that. So yeah, wouldn't recommend. And as for the repairs, I'm pretty happy with how that went, to be honest. No issues. Welding with that Artec welder, just, yeah, for a beginner like me, just takes a lot of the guesswork out of it, and yeah, it's quite motivating to use. So yeah, really happy with that purchase. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.